How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio. It's April the 8th, 2020. Just wanted to do a quick video, check in with you guys, see how everybody's doing. You know, I made a decision a week or so ago that I'm not going to add to the panic. I'm not going to add to the gloom and doom aspect of this. You know, there's an old saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. I mean, I'm not saying I'm doing that, but the media is just, they're working overtime to scare people to death. And, you know, they're all working to lock people in and talk to your, your tendencies for fear porn and, I guess the excitement, some people feel from, almost like the roller coaster type syndrome where you're afraid, so they know how to do this. This is what they do. They have, they have buildings full of psychologists that mold their programming and stuff. So I said to myself, I'm not going to add to the fear. I've been taking this time to read and really follow the money and really, really look into this from a lot of respected people, doctors, and people who are watching the globalists for 20, 30, 40 years. What I've gathered is this absolutely is a man-made virus. It absolutely was made in a lab. This is nothing new. They've been trying to create a virus on this level. From what I've learned about the process of building this type of a bioweapon in a lab is one thing they've always had problems with is what's called the gain of function. And they've achieved it here. This is no joke. This virus is very, very contagious. It's not as deadly as the news would want you to believe it is, but it is contagious. And what they're not reporting is that, tens of thousands of people have been infected with this. They have every symptom, but it goes away in like 24 to 48 hours. And this is the beauty of these psychopaths playing God. This is the beauty of watching it fail every time. Yes, they were able to achieve gain of function with this Frankenstein virus that they created, and we are going to get into that shortly. I'm just trying to put it into a concise format so, most people who aren't interested in this can quickly understand. There's a lot of people also saying that there needs to be a warrant issued for Bill Gates. Arrest Bill Gates. I've seen hashtags arrest Bill Gates. You got to be careful what you're saying right now and how you're titling things on this, this DARPA government controlled, stage called YouTube. You notice you can't create anything without them smashing their propaganda all over your video. They're taking videos down left and right. They're monitoring this. They want people to believe a certain stream of information, and they even covered that in Event 201. If you've seen a few of my other videos recently, in Event 201, they had stated that that's the reason they'll shut down pockets of the internet. For what they consider disinformation, which factually is citizen reporting, citizen watch groups who are doing the job of the paid media, the Anderson Coopers of the world, the multimillionaires being paid by multi-billionaires to keep the agenda and the propaganda straight in everybody's face. So without people like us and outlets like YouTube, which is YouTube's done. I mean, they're slowly trying to turn themselves into Netflix. And if you're not singing the national anthem of the Communist Party, then you will be censored. You're blacklisted. You're shadow banned, which Covert Radio has been shadow banned. I have proof of that. which is nothing new. They've been censoring my stuff. That's why, I'm very careful what I've said. And this isn't my only channel. So, I kind of think my algorithm is putting it all together. I don't know. It's weird because I'll give you an example. The same things are showing up on my tablet now that are showing up on my phone, that's showing up on my PC, that's showing up on my work phone, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I think they did some weird update to YouTube recently when they knew everybody would be home. Everybody would be forced to use the Borg, tied in digitally. They're tracking what you're watching. They're tracking what you're searching for. They're tracking who you call. They're tracking who your network is, all under house arrest. I have a video I was working on recently that says, since when does a virus negate the Constitution? So viruses, man-made in a lab, they now have the power to erase the Constitution of the United States. The right to assemble. And not only that, I also have another video I'm working on that deals with the religious aspect of this. Blatantly states in the Bible, when 3 or more are gathered in my name, I am there. Jesus had said that. When 3 or more are gathered together, and they bring up the Lord or prayer, he's like, I'm there. Well, get 3 or more together right now without the digital manipulation and the digital signals. And this is a whole other aspect of the ether and my belief on what chemtrails really are. They're covering they're covering our heads basically with tin foil so that our electromagnetic prayers, our frequencies, they're having a harder time reaching out to the heavens. Believe me, I go deep on this, but I'm not getting into this right now. That's another video. But again, just to reel it all back in, I don't want to go doom and gloom. I don't. I could easily do that. I don't want to do that to you guys. There's plenty of people doing that. If you're into that, go find it. You're not going to get it here. I'm just going to stick to what's important and where we're going. And if you remember back in 2018, I think it was like 2017 into 2018, that show, or 2018 into 2019. No. It was December 2017 into 2018. I don't know. I'll link it in the description. But I talked about cancer, and I talked about the sun, which is another reason we're being told to hide in your closet. They want to keep people out of the sun. That's another reason they're blanketing the sky with a gray blanket to keep us out of the sun. The sun will destroy any viruses. That's why the flu goes away in the summertime. The UV will destroy viruses. That's why they have UV sterilization labs and products and lamps and all this stuff. But sun increases your immune system. It increases the amount of vitamin D, and it keeps cancer away from our bodies from attacking. In that show, I stated that, black people having melanin in their skin, a lot of melanin, which is essentially sunblock, built-in sunblock, like sunscreen. When black people get diagnosed with cancer in the northern hemisphere, 9 times out of 10, it's a death sentence, because they cannot, people don't get enough sun, and they're not taking enough supplements or the right supplements, and in combination with getting sun. All of our lives are indoor. Plus it's like a stigma, in the black community to be black, which, whatever, I know there's reasons for that, but I'm just saying it's killing people not being in the sun. It's killing people literally. But it's not just black people. It's just, what I'm saying is everybody, every human, every animal. Watch your dogs. If you have pets, watch them find the sun every day and they will go lay in the sun. Why do they do that? Because it's instinctive. They know they need sun. Their cells need sun. Their immune system needs sun. Okay? We certainly need sun. Black people with built-in melanin, or, anybody with any level of high melanin in their skin needs way more sun than people without melanin in their skin. Like, a white person can go into the sun for 15 minutes and efficiently absorb the amount of vitamin D and all the nutrients the sun gives our bodies. Great, good. 15 minutes is plenty. For a black person to absorb that same amount, you're talking maybe 2 hours because of the sunblock. Okay, so what I'm telling you is there's something wrong. Okay, there's something wrong, and now we're going to bring it into this virus, which again was made in a lab. This is unbelievable to me, but I want you guys to first watch this video here. Let me hit play on this.
This is for real. This is for real. This is Brooklyn, y'all. Family, y'all take it serious. Y'all take this thing real serious, y'all. This is for real. This is for real, y'all. This is for real. This is real. This is right here in Brooklyn. This is right at Brooklyn Hospital. Y'all, this is for real. They put the bodies in 18-wheeler, y'all. This is live from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn Hospital. They putting bodies in the back of a freezer truck, y'all. Please stay inside. This is for real. This is for real, y'all. My hand is shaking because it's hard to look at this right here, what I'm seeing right now. It's hard to believe this. But y'all, this is for real. Please, y'all stay inside. This is real, y'all. This is coming right now. I'm right here now, right here outside the hospital. This is going on right now. This is live, y'all. This time is 10:40 Sunday morning. This is down. This is down.
That poor man. Okay, scared to death. He sounds old. Of course, he should be scared. He really shouldn't be that close. One, he shouldn't be outside. Two, and this is real. Again, granted, it's blown out of proportion. Absolutely. However, it is real and it is very contagious. But they're not telling you that most people who get it will never see the hospital. They'll never, okay, you know what I mean? All this, and there's, following the money, Cuomo, all of them are doing it for the trillions of dollars that this bill was passed through. They want their big cut. They want to cut as big as possible. And there's other reasons they're amping this up. But I'm also, for the first time ever, I'm considering giving you guys some stock advice as well, because there were a few biotech companies that are going to be winning big time. We're talking probably maybe around 20 to 30% increase in your investment. So, we may get into that. I don't like doing stuff like that though, but there's a few that are probably going to win the vaccine war, which this is really what it's all about. It's about money and control. Isn't that what it's always about? Let me rewind. 2017-18 somewhere. I'll link the video in the description. I did a video about vitamin C, cancer, melanin. And after that video, in the comments section, and I got a ton of emails, people saying, Covert Radio, thank you so much. There was one comment on that video that said, I took me and my children in to get some blood work done. Every single one of us were vitamin D deficient. Every one of them. And again, I got tons of emails from that show. All you have to do is increase your exposure to the sun or increase your intake of vitamin D, especially starting in the fall. This virus, again, is no joke. And here's the scary part. This may be a race weapon. This really honestly may be a race weapon. And we're talking melanated people, okay? We're talking 7 to 8 out of 10 deaths have been black people. 7, close to 8 out of 10 deaths have been black people and melanated people. The coronavirus is disproportionately killing black Americans. This was published yesterday. Celebrities may be calling COVID-19 a great equalizer, but statistics from across the U.S. show that's far from the truth. Coronavirus case numbers and death tolls have revealed the virus is disproportionately affecting black Americans. And the worse yet, the stats from the hardest hit areas aren't even in yet. And that's reported by the New York Times. Black Americans make up just about 1/3 of Louisiana's population, but according to numbers released a couple days ago, more than 70% of those who have died of COVID-19 were black. Chicago is less than 1/3 black, but 72% of those who have died of the COVID-19, the coronavirus, were black. And while the county around Milwaukee is about 27% black, around twice as many black residents tested positive for COVID-19 compared to white residents. So the article, you can read it. I'll link it in the description. There's not enough data to fully explain the overwhelmingly disproportionate numbers, experts tell the New York Times. But the fact that black Americans are less likely than white Americans to be insured, suffer racial bias in medical testing and treatment, and more often have jobs that haven't let them stay home during the pandemic, all certainly contribute. Which, again, you can read the article. They're going to try to blame it on whatever, you know what I mean? Other than the fact that this, A, is a race weapon. Possibly, I'm not saying it is, but it absolutely was created in a lab. That can almost be proven at this point. And I'm not talking about speculation. There are protein numbers that match 100% to other viruses. And when you listen to experts, scientists, and doctors explain what those numbers mean, it is an impossibility for particles of a virus or certain elements or proteins in a virus to ever equal 100%. Nature does not work in absolutes like that. This is not a naturally occurring virus. This is made in a lab. And again, once they found the gain of function for this virus, it unleashed, and they're saying it was unleashed at the level 4 lab in Wuhan, China. So the big question now is, because the USA was involved in the grants and the funding of the research into this, who released it? Was it Wuhan or was it the United States? Because China's starting to say it was the US. This very well is going to lead to World War III. And I don't know if they're going to leave off of the reins until that time. Because now, you know, I want you guys to understand something. What a lot of people are suffering from is called a normalcy bias. And I see it every day. Like today it was beautiful here. You know, puffy clouds in the sky, nice and warm out. I see little kids playing, you know, outside, riding their bikes, riding around, this and that. People walking, doing this, doing that. They all believe it's going to be okay. They all believe that it's not going to affect me. They all believe that any day everything's going to go back to normal. That's called a normalcy bias, and that is used against us. And statistics show through different psychological tests and questionnaires and programs that have been run over the years after a major event. I'm not talking like a what if situation. These are after actual events. A tornado ripping through some town in Oklahoma, killing 70,000 people, or Katrina, or any disaster that has happened in the last 50 years. When they have psychologists talk to these people after the fact, 70% of them believed, oh, well, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Well, I mean, didn't you hear the warnings, the category 4, category 5 warnings? Like the people who are in Florida, this is just a hurricane. I'm just going to board up my windows. No, you need to evacuate. We've been through this before. That's called a normalcy bias, where you can't accept what's happening. You cannot wrap your mind around what's happening. And beyond that, this is controlled trauma, and the media is making sure everybody's traumatized. So people of my age and our generation, this is the second big time in 20 years we've been traumatized to this level. This is trauma-induced mind control. 9/11, COVID-19, okay? That's a different video. I'm going to make this short. I want to show you guys one more article here, and I'll link this. This is also from the New York Times here. 8 UK doctors died from the coronavirus. All were immigrants. Okay, now you can read down through this article, but I want to show you the most important part is right here. Okay, where are we at? Okay, for a country ripped apart in recent years by Brexit and the anti-immigrant movement that birthed it, the deaths of the 8 doctors from Egypt, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Sudan, okay, attest to the extraordinary dependence of Britain's treasured health service on workers from abroad. But if you go a little further, it is a story tinged with racism. Okay? It's a story tinged with racism. As white British doctors have largely dominated the prestigious disciplines, while foreign doctors have typically found work in places and practices that are apparently putting them on the dangerous front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. Or is it a race weapon? Is it a biological race weapon? I mean, because there are probably, tens and tens of thousands of doctors on the front line. You're telling me that none of them are white? I mean, this article is telling you that there are people with melanin in their skin dying of the coronavirus, but there are no white doctors supposedly dying of the coronavirus. They're also telling you that the coronavirus is killing 7, 8 out of 10 people that are black. I'm almost 99% sure that deals with the amount of vitamin D in your system, how strong your immunity system is, and they're making it even worse by telling people to shelter indoors, shelter in place, aka get no sun, aka stay out of the sun. I hope you guys, a lot of you have listened to me for the last 2 to 3 years and have started pounding vitamin D 2 to 3 years ago when I made that suggestion to you. Because this isn't over yet. This isn't over by a long shot. You know, it's similar to what they do to cattle. You know, cattle, there have even been some butchers that have played classical music for the cows. They'll, put the big heavy lead blankets on them, and they'll play classical music, and they'll be petting them and petting them. Boom! Right between the eyes. Dead. They drop them instantly. Because they don't want any of the adrenaline coursing through the meat. They don't want to stress the cows out. They don't want to stress the cattle out. It spoils the meat. I'm telling you that doctors like Mengele have not left this planet. And it's very possible Bill Gates needs to be arrested, because here's what's happening. And then I'm going to wrap this up. What's happening is people are looking at the cause right now and not the effect. It's very similar to, say, somebody in a town somewhere getting a hold of a bulldozer and they just go boom, 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 boom. House after house after house after house. Level it, level it, level it, level it. Boo, boo, boo. Okay? Well, the neighbors across the street and some of the neighbors on the other side, or down the block from them, what's everybody going to do? They're going to run and try to help the people screaming in the houses. You might have a few running after the guy driving the bulldozer who just knocked everybody's house down and killed a bunch of people and hurt a bunch of people. But the firemen, the police, the ambulance, all the paramedics, the neighbors, they're all going to be focused on the hurt, sick, dying people. And that's exactly what we have here. Of course, the media is controlled, but it's focusing on the hurt, sick, dying people. All the other, propaganda around this is focusing on the hurt, dying people. Nobody is looking at the cause. There are some people looking at the cause, and I can't wait to cover this for you guys. Check the description. There's going to be some links down in there. I hope this wasn't rambly. I'm just trying to hurry up and get this done within 20 minutes or so. If you want to become a Patreon and support this type of media, please do so. And that's that. You guys take care. Have a good day.